to Lagos, where Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has sworn in a new set of commissioners and special advisors.
At a colorful ceremony attended by many party bigwigs and leaders of thought in the state, the governor administered the oath on 35 successful nominees out of 38, which he had sent to the State House of Assembly for screening and confirmation. Well, now that the oath-taking business has been dealt with, it's time for the cabinet members to get down to work.
Now, some of them acknowledge the huge responsibility placed on them, and they will hit the ground running from what the promises they've made.
Let's get perspective now. Fresh perspective to this new cabinet of the Babajide Sanwo-Olu administration now that they've been sworn in. Public Affairs Analyst Razak Olokoba is here. Good morning and welcome to TVC Breakfast. Let's talk specifics now in crucial sectors in Lagos. Transportation. So we are seeing a Lamata executive, Dr. Frederick Oladende, coming on board with his experience, but the transportation remains a huge challenge, with some saying the government needs to make some, tough decisions in this regard. What do you suggest?
Yeah. Is it transportation and infrastructure are same as twins? The first most important area that the governor should look at is the infrastructure. Every other thing tied to it, including transportation and the economy. And following closely behind it is origin that I have spoken about, which is the transportation issue. If you don't have discipline laws in place anywhere in the world, you are going to ruin your economy. And that is what informs the reason for those laws, that there must be discipline. If you slow down transportation in a state like Lagos, you are slowing down the economy. So if you allow a passage for traffic to flow, your business will move. If you spend 3 hours to work, 3 hours back, that is 6 hours of production time that you are wasting. And for all the economy in a nation to work, people need to move. I need to talk to you. I need to engage. So it creates employment. It allows business to flow. Another inducement around this is the economy. If you notice very well now that the pattern that Sanwo-Olu has brought on board has encouraged people to pay their taxes willingly. The teeming youth, if you look at the guy that's on board for the youth, the backbone of economy are the youth. And if you don't drive the youth, the economy will be in shambles. So that's why, like we have said, that you need the right guy in the right place. Someone who can mold you, someone who can inspire the youth. Then the security. In Lagos now, there are things that Sanwo-Olu has brought on board that people are not aware of. There are sensitive places that you have security cameras in place. And that is why quick responses to issues, security issues, are getting.
But would this feat lie solely on Mr. Sanwo-Olu's quarters now? Hadn't there been in place a system that, aided the better security that, many Lagosians are enjoying?
Yeah, you say what?
Has the system not already been put in place? Is it solely at the quarters of Mr. Sanwo-Olu, or has Lagos already gotten it right, so to speak, in terms of better security?
Well, like I had wanted to say, that it undergoes some redemption. Lagos is how to run, but someone must run the automation. So before now, from 1999 up until 2015, there were things in place that the two previous governors had put in place, which suffered a lot of setback in the last 4 years. But today, within the short period that he has come on board, there's been that re-energizing of the entire process, such that the security challenges that we have been facing the last one or 2 years has been sorted out. So if you put the entire cabinet together, side by side, the new guys that are coming on board and the old guys that were there before, there's that equilibrium to show us that the news we'll be having is that jobs will be running after Lagosians.
Razak Olokoba, thank you so much for your contributions on TVC Breakfast.
It's a pleasure being with you. Thank you very much.
Ahead now. Today, President Muhammadu Buhari will inaugurate Ministers-Designate after their 2-day retreat in Abuja, where he charged them to rise to the responsibilities of the ministerial office.
The ministers will also be assigned portfolios which will spell out priorities, deliverables, and timelines. Well, all eyes are on ministries many Nigerians consider as critical, like the Ministries of Power, Works, Health, and Education. Let's get more now on this. Public affairs analyst is live in the studio. Good morning, GBOLA Oba, and welcome to TVC Breakfast.
Good morning, always a pleasure to be on your
Right,
side.
so the guessing continues. Many Nigerians are looking out for who gets what. What are your expectations as the swearing in, is scheduled to hold in a few hours from now?
One is looking at the president assigning people that one believes are competent to the right portfolios. That would be the natural expectation of Nigerians. But until he does it, it's not done until he does it.
And talking about expectations, you listened to the president's speech yesterday and the day before now. He seems to be harping on coordination, cohesion, a better display of these attributes. How much of a significance are these?
The screening of Babatunde Raji Fashola SAN at the Senate was seminal for me. Seminal because it exposed to me the seeming inadequacies, the systemic inadequacies of the Nigerian government as it is presently constituted. And I would suppose that even when those points are important, I would suppose that it behoves the president to reform the mechanisms through which the government works. Look, let's be very honest with ourselves. If anybody goes back to go and watch the screening of Babatunde Raji Fashola at the Senate, he has perfectly laid down the fact that government is basically tokenistic now. It is now incumbent on any government, especially at the state and the federal, to make sure that development is democratized. Engage the Nigerian people, let the Nigerian people work to solve their own problem. The truth as we speak is that governance, as it is presently constituted, cannot work, will not work. Not because the people in government lack good intention, but because the system itself is so etched into failure.
Let me digress a bit now. So we saw the Ekweremadu issue that occurred in the attack on him in Germany, and then getting feedback from, getting reactions. Some said the state of underdevelopment, bad roads, for example, now in the southeast is poor as against other parts of the country. But then it was also put across again as a return now. It's the same in everywhere. It goes back to the point you just made now. How one can ensure that the development that is ongoing in here at the federal level also spreads across the length and breadth of Nigeria.
The irony is that there is no development anywhere in Nigeria as we speak.
But there are projects, there are real projects ongoing. Many have seen them as breakthroughs. There are also health projects and all that. But then there remains a challenge.
These projects, that's why I said I enjoin anybody watching me this morning to go and watch. I watched it 10 times. At a point, I was critically analyzing what's used. Very seminal. Look, government is basically tokenistic. It's taking the federal government it's taking the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria more than 12 years now to complete the Lagos-Ibadan Express Road. It's taking some things that are basic, so basic, but because resources are scarce. The truth is that resources are scarce. And the truth is that the system we inherited from our colonial master, this monolithic, over-centralized government that came into being from 1966, will no longer work. And ironically, Nigerians have an enormous amount of resources residual in them. And yet we don't have a system that is encouraging them, incentivizing them to use those resources to solve their own problems.
Let's end on that note. GBOLA Oba, I appreciate your contributions on this subject on TVC Breakfast. Thank you.